Hi everybody, it's Melvina Germain from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Calgary poet. So I have a series of poems for you today, but first I'd like to share what happened to me the other day when I left my home. I walked out the door, got in my car, drove down the street, turned down the alley. As I was turning down the alley and I went to turn up the next street, I spotted a lady, saw a wheelchair and a gentleman. I never saw such a smile on a face. This woman smiled at me. It was dazzling. It didn't touch my mind or just my heart. It touched my soul the way she smiled. I waved, they all waved back, and it was just a really lovely scene. Just wanted to mention that so you know what it's like when you smile at another human being. You can really change their day. And she did. That really uplifted me and set me up for a beautiful day. An Awesome Dream is the poem I'm going to read for you now. Lying in a euphoric state, a tremendous heat appeared, penetrating every nerve and vein. An explosion erupted, setting the core afire, bursting into invisible flames. Yet I remained frozen, unable to move. Suddenly, a figure appeared, stood very still. 'Twas a most amazing sight. His face was dressed with compassion, while the light o'er his body shone bright. Draped in the finest of fabrics, with a look of divinity, he extended his arm toward me, gently placing his finger on my forehead. My fear quickly faded, for I was touched by the Son of God. Jesus spoke in a soothing tenor's voice, assuring me all would be well. He motioned, "Come." My spirit rose. We soared together o'er field and water. I looked back and saw myself lying on the bed. Jesus motioned, "Come ahead." An angel took me by the hand, while Jesus stood among a huge, cumulus cluster of white, soft clouds. A dove appeared and slowly perched on his shoulder, a sight to be seen. Jesus opened his mouth as if to speak, but the words did not come. Instead, a steady flow of syllables and musical notes came out of his mouth and spilled on the soft white clouds. He smiled and looked at me with such love, while the syllables and notes continued to spill and dance around his feet. It was then I woke from a very deep, deep sleep. "Wow," I exclaimed as I sat up in my bed. I smiled, took a deep breath, and held on to my head. Peace, tranquility, and happiness mingled. I felt warm and content. My dream was heaven sent. Thank you. I have a philosophy I'd like to share with you. I call it Melvina's philosophy. A wise person listens well. 100 apologies will not erase a bad word or deed said or done against any race. We can't take back the throw once we hurl the stone. Every special occasion must be planned with love. Memories are forever. A family that joins hand in prayer forms a chain of lasting love and care. We cannot repeat time once gone. We've crossed the line. Never having to say you're sorry is a beautiful ending of every story. You know, I enjoy a certain time, sometimes every day, maybe for a week or so, then maybe every 2 or 3 days, I come out to water my flowers, especially my hydrangeas, which like a lot of water. And I take a deep breath quite often, and I just enjoy the look of the flowers and enjoy giving them their drink, their food for the day. So I wrote a poem way back in June 14, 2007, called "Watering the Flowers." The early morning dew caressed petals of garden flowers, allowing them to hold their tiny heads toward the sky. I wore the sun as a glove this morning, covering my skin with its warm embrace, while the mist from the garden hose ever so slightly touched my legs as I watered our beautiful flowers. A sense of tranquility came over me as I stood there basking in the beauty of the day. A slight wind touched the back of my neck, and I was sure I heard a whisper say, I love you. Yes. Yes, indeed. Okay, that was nice and peaceful and gave you sort of a beautiful feeling. What gives you a bad feeling is when someone purposely goes out and spreads lies about you, says things that are absolutely untrue. It's ridiculous and it's disgusting. And what they're not thinking about, they may feel good about what they're doing because they're trying their best to make you look bad, but they're not thinking down the road what can happen to them. And I know what goes round comes round. I've seen it happen. So I wrote a poem back June 2007. What goes round comes round. I'll say it again and again. When you stab someone in the back, you'll get it back in the end. You can paint a victory smile on your face while you pierce their heart with a bitter taste. Baby, you'll receive 10 times more of the same, for you will be beaten at your own game. There's nothing for the victim to do, for the perpetrator will suffer more than you. When one chooses the cowardly way to succeed, it is apparent they are also full of greed. Now, when you want to move ahead in life, do it without using your words like a knife. Be patient. Take a seat for a short time. Soon God will move you to the top of the line. What goes round comes round. Believe it, people. It's true. Many years ago, my little granddaughter was having a baptism. She's going to be baptized, but not here in Calgary. She's going to be baptized in Vancouver. So we took a trip to Vancouver to enjoy that time and to make sure we experienced that, my husband and myself. When we arrived, we met all of the Latino family. They were absolutely beautiful. They acted like they knew us. We were there with them for a short time, but they made us feel so welcome. I just couldn't forget it. We were sitting at a huge table, and some of the young fellows came in, and as they came in, they greeted each person with a hug and a kiss. Some they shook the man's hand, sometimes they hugged them too, and it was all very warm, and it was just something I wasn't really used to. And I thought, oh, are we out of place? How are they going to greet us? Well, when they got to me, they gave me a hug and a kiss as if I was really part of the family. And so I felt very, very close then. I felt warm and comforted. My husband was happy and I was happy. They were all speaking Spanish. We didn't understand a word, but it was almost like we understood every word. So when I left, I had a really good feeling about the Latino people. So I sat down June 13th, 2007, and I penned a few words called Beautiful Latinos. Latinos, a race of beauty, put upon this earth, now in the limelight, showing all their worth, insurmountable talents, perform for the world to see, and to gaze upon their forms of elegant artistry. They can dance, they can move, they can kick up their heels. They are sexy Latin lovers, and that's very real. Look out, they have tempers like a fire dragon's blaze. When you see it, you are sure to be amazed. Large families with lots of love filtering through their homes. In certain areas, you will find no TVs or telephones. The love that resonates keeps their families alive. With constant determination, the family will strive. Coming to America, working very hard at industrial plants to sometimes construction yards. Maybe short order cooks or dishwashers too, doing whatever it takes within reason to make it through. They are fine people, proud people, strong people, yes. The number one priority is their family's best. That is so, so true. Warmth. I won't forget it. Ever. That'll be something I take with me. This next poem is called Menopause, A Change of Life. Several years ago, I had a shop, and a gentleman came in, and he'd come into our shop many times, actually. And we'd sit and we'd have a conversation, sometimes share a cup of tea. And he was very upset. He was distraught. He was sure his wife was messing around on him. And I asked many questions, as I often do, because I'm that type of person. And he answered them. And as the conversation was going on, I realized what was really taking place in his life. His wife was going through the change of life. Oh my, it's blistering hot. Please, please stop. I feel like I'm standing over a steaming pot. Beads of sweat pouring down my face. Inopportune times. Embarrassing place. I'm fed up with this inward inferno, burning, burning from the inside out. Wake during the night, soaking wet. Listless, tired, out of bed I get. How long will it last? 10 years, you say? Oh no, Lord, take this misery away. Good news, help on the way. Books and products line the shelves today. I sit and ponder about the women of yesteryear, why the mental institutions kept them there. Menopause, a change of life. Educate yourself, eliminate the strife. He left my shop feeling so much better. Now he could go home and help his wife get through a very trying time. And it could take years, but love is forever. And it is, after all, the only answer. Something else that bothers me is the changes in life, definitely. You go, first you're a baby and everybody thinks you're so cute, then you're a little toddler and you're so bad. We go through, the 2s and the 3s and they're not so easy, and then we get them and they're teenagers and oh boy, they know everything now, and young people. Then we reach what people refer to now as the golden years. Well, I'm not reading a poem called The Golden Years, but I am reading a poem called Dismissed by the Young. We seem to wear this facade of silence. We've become silent people. Walking with a younger person, alive and well, dismissed by others as they stand to talk a spell. All questions directed to the young person's ears, while I stand with a faint smile, fighting back the tears. Sometimes one feels their existence goes unnoticed. You must make the young look and focus. Take your place, stand firm, inject your voice, be heard. Make that important choice. Your silence is a loss to a young person's ears. Speak up, give your opinion. Your experience is dear. Your years of gains and losses, of many ups and downs, will feed the minds of the young, so gather them around. And remember, it is said, the best classroom in the world is at the feet of an older person. Let your old people speak. They still exist in their old age. It's true. I'm here, and I'm 76. I'm old, and that's okay. I have memories that go back to Sydney, Nova Scotia. That's where I was born. And there was a time of year that I really liked the most, and that was when the circus came to town. Of course, I was young, and that was going to be a fun time for me. Let me read the intro. The circus coming to town in Sydney, Nova Scotia was a highlight in my life. All the children were very excited. We knew we had to cross the tar bridge because that was the closest way to go. And when I think of it now, I realize how foolish that was and how easy it would have been to fall into the hot water and die. We didn't think of that then, not even for a minute. As a matter of fact, it was part of the excitement. Crossing that old tar bridge on the railroad tracks. We loved it. It's a memory I'll treasure for the rest of my life. The circus is coming to town. Ooh, yes it is. So, let me read that poem for you called Circus. The circus is coming to town. The circus is coming to town. Gather round, people. The circus is coming to town. Tomorrow morning at 8:30, we'll line up and wait. The long way to cross the tracks we'll go. Cross the tar bridge. There we must walk very slow. It's worth the time it will take to line up at the circus gate. Oh, Lordy, the circus is coming to town. The circus is coming to town. Pretty girls in bright colored tights, perfect bodies, they're all right. They'll grace the high wires with elegance and flair. Oh, lookers will watch them fly through the air. Yes, The circus is coming to town. The circus is coming to town. That gave me a really good feeling reading that for you. I have a couple of fun poems that I'm going to end with. One is called As One. You see the high-heeled shoes there. Sitting in the shimmering noon sun, basking together as one, it was just you and me. Why, we were allergic to reality. You touched me, I always touch you. If only I could have been more than a pair of old shoes. Cute. I have another one called Caught in the Act. I'm sorry, it's a little bit sensual. Hope you don't mind. You took me by surprise when you picked me up, massaging my neck with such gentle strokes. You moved your hands so softly, slowly caressing my cool, naked body. You held me close to your chest and kept me warm, squeezing me oh so gently. Then placed your tongue on my lips and pressed lightly against my mouth. Bent your head back ever so slowly, all the while holding me tight in your manly, strong hands, enjoying the aroma of my sweet perfume. You open your eyes, look above, and realize there's a camera peering down on you. Now you're caught in the act of stealing a most expensive bottle of the master's fine wine. I really wanted to read that one for you. It's so cute. Wrote that one quite some time ago. I think it was 2006. I have had a lot of fun reading here today, and I'm going to end on that note, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening to me today, people. God bless you.